we might now have a reason for Meghan McCain's upcoming departure from The View. And no surprise, it's because she pisses everyone off. At least this is according to insiders talking to Page 6. Apparently, they wrote, McCain finally wore out her welcome with her co-host on The View after 4 years, who made clear to ABC News' new boss that they no longer wanted to work with the contentious conservative. The bombastic McCain had allies in the network's previous regime, but the April 2021 hiring of Kim Godwin as NBC News president spelled the end for her often combative 4-year run as conservative co-host in the daytime talk show. In fact, a source told the website, quote, everyone was at their wits' end, even Whoopi. And she's the chillest of them all. All right, so now hold on. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have an unpopular take on this one about Whoopi Goldberg. I know the story's about Meghan McCain, but I just need to do this sidetrack just a little, just for a minute here, okay? So now, one more quote. Whoopi is never going to advocate for anyone to get fired. Well, that's good. She's not about that, but she was very clear that she no longer wanted to work with Meghan. So I guess it was down to Meghan or Whoopi Goldberg. And given how, of course, Meghan McCain, not exactly popular with the View audience, obviously she had to go. She had to go. So now, again, go back to my unpopular take about Whoopi Goldberg. You ready for this one? This is despite being a Star Trek fan, right? And seeing some of her movies, and, you know, generally liking her, you know, her acting, right? Actually I'm not a fan of her political views. Let's say that, right? I think that she has a tendency to talk down to and disrespect young progressives. She's more establishment, and by young progressives, I mean people more like AOC, members of the squad, who tried to hold the Democratic Party accountable to some measure. Now, you can argue that, of course, them trying is not enough. It didn't hold them enough, you know, hold them accountable enough. And you can go on about the mama bear thing, whatever, right? Or not even forcing the vote. And that's, you know what, fair criticism, right? And maybe trying to, you know, put forward a bill, of course, Medicare for all during a pandemic. It had no chance of passing, but that actually wasn't the point, to hold people on the record. That said, right, whether you agree that they held her, that they hold the Democratic Party accountable enough, understand that even the light criticism that AOC and the squad have given towards the Democrats was too much for people like Whoopi Goldberg. That gets you the wrath. You criticize Nancy Pelosi, you criticize Dianne Feinstein, well then, Whoopi Goldberg's going to come for you with a pickaxe. And the thing is that Goldberg, understand that from her perspective, you know, she's wealthy, incredibly successful, and has earned all of that success. At the same time, she does not know how young people have it in this country. Okay? Young people right now have been dealt a pretty bad hand. Less wages, no benefits, no health care during a pandemic that was deadly, rising home prices, and then, of course, the specter of climate change. And so I'm sorry, but you should criticize Pelosi and the Democrats because they are objectively not doing enough. They reach out to Republicans who will never work with them and then end up watering down their own plans anyway, even when they have no Republican support. So if you can't handle, and this is my point, if you cannot handle the slightest critique of the Democratic Party, well, that's a problem. I get a problem with that. I think you should critique your leaders. I think you should hold them accountable. I think you should demand more. But I also think that you should understand the limits of the progressives in power. So all of that, of course, is very, very nuanced. All right? And we don't do that here. That said, Whoopi Goldberg and I, yes, she's a liberal. I'm progressive. I agree with her on a lot of issues. Of course, we have a lot of agreement. But I think that she sits kind of in an altar of privilege as a result of her immense wealth and success. And again, she deserves all that success. She's earned it all. That's wonderful. But again, that's my issue here. A lot of the Hollywood liberals and wealthy people are really cut off from what the rest of us are going through. Okay? Progressives, working class liberals, you know, we're all busting ass to save the planet and try to have a decent life. And then we get told that, oh no, you're asking for too much with people in power. No, we're asking for the bare minimum, a livable place to live. All right? Homes, places to live in, and a climate that isn't on fire. The ocean was on fire this weekend. And we're not going to do anything about climate change? Oh no, well, I'm sure we can do a deal by 2050. Get the fuck out of here. The ocean's on fire. The little town of Lytton in Canada normally enjoys moderate temperatures, literally burnt to the ground because of, the result of climate change, because of these massive heat waves. And so, don't tell me that, oh, no, they're working on it. Trust me, they'll have something in about 10, 15 years. We don't have 10 to 15 years. We gotta go. We gotta go. And that's, again, the problem with the establishment is that they don't see the urgency, or even if they do, they're not willing to put in the so-called crazy ideas to get it done. So that's my problem. Okay? That's Goldberg, and that's why I have a problem with her. Okay? Now, Meghan McCain's unbearable in pretty much all respects. Okay? So that's where I'm at. Yes, between Whoopi and McCain, obviously I'm going to choose Whoopi, right? For somebody that I agree with. But anyway, that said, there was apparently some excitement over McCain leaving. In fact, they write, Goldberg, Joy Behar, and Anna Navarro, who the source said probably drank so many goddamn margaritas to celebrate McCain leaving, all approached Godwin with concerns about her behavior on air and behind the scenes. Quote, it happened as soon as Kim came in. It was right after Joy and Meghan's huge on-air blow-up in May, where the network called an emergency meeting. They told new management, we don't want to work with her anymore. They all came with complaints to Kim about Meghan, according to another insider. She and co-host Senny Hostin had also settled into a faux friendship after the previous regime made clear that they'd side with McCain in their own feud. But Goldberg told the new regime that she wanted her gone. I love how it's like, well, look, Whoopi Goldberg would never get anybody fired. But she definitely got her fired. Okay. Well, fun times. Yeah. Now, again, Whoopi was clear, according to the quote, that she didn't want to work with her either. The source said there have been many well-documented issues, and Meghan has not made a good impression on new management. So now, a lot of people are going to say, well, she was booted because she's conservative. The View is a liberal show. Well, The View is a very liberal show. Let's be fair about that. But here's the thing. I think, and this is my issue here. This is what I see from the establishment. They're so eager to bend over and bow to the altar of bipartisanship, right? I love it when they agree. Now, the View audience doesn't love it when they agree. They love it when they all fight. And so do I. Let them fight. Okay, I like that. But a lot of the establishment loves bipartisanship, loves when people get along. So I don't think it's the fact that she was conservative. I think it was the fact that she was a pain in the ass to work with and a diva. And my other complaint about Meghan McCain, this is personally, is that she had no idea what she was talking about. It's actually fine to have a conservative perspective. I think you're wrong if you have that perspective, but having a conservative perspective is fine. I believe in the marketplace of ideas. I know. I want to see a conservative actually be able to defend their terrible ideas, and at least to try to do it in a smart, nuanced way. I don't know if it's possible. I'm going to try. You don't get that with Meghan McCain. You get, do you know who my father is? Yes, I know who your goddamn father is. Now say something substantive. actually make an argument. No, you get hissy fits, you get anger. You know, she, again, incredibly rude, condescending, which is saying something because, again, she's on with Whoopi Goldberg. And so, no, she's terrible, terrible. And that's why everybody despised her. It's because she's vapid and clueless. And honestly, look, that's kind of the whole show. Honestly, the vapid and cluelessness of it. I really wish it wasn't considered the most important talk show in America, because it certainly isn't. But at least if you're going to do something like that, try to get some smarter conversation, people who actually know their own position, and try to argue it if you're going to have an argument. That's all I'm saying. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.